watch page so I can see what the
We're
fuck's
on there.
going on.
Turn your watch pages off.
No, why don't you post one
It's
so I can see what's
because I
going
don't know
on?
what
So I
it's
have to
called.
search for this shit.
I don't know. I didn't even put a title in this one. I don't even know how I did this.
Yeah, post one. So I don't know what's going on. Like I'm looking at the chat and
I'll look
Hey,
at the watch.
there's a watch page and there's a
The watch
Google
page.
Hangout. And, I tried doing this a couple times and I'm sitting there talking to myself, like, hello, anybody?
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. So you're in what state, Ian?
Oh, I'm in Ohio.
Ohio.
That's right. They claim we could secede from the rest of the nation and be self-sufficient. So they claim.
Oh, is that the talk?
I don't know. I certainly heard that before. We do have the Ohio militia, which is sanctified, and there's a lot of things going on here. We have the Great Lakes, and I don't know. I could go on and on until everybody goes to sleep, but
Well, I went to college in Wisconsin. I grew up here, but I spent. My dad moved around. I went to high school in Washington, Oregon, and then Wisconsin. I went to college there. Then I came back, but so yeah, I know Midwest kind of thing. You're Ohio. You're right there on the lakes too, right?
indeed we are.
Yeah.
It's the Rust Belt. I'm in the Rust Belt, so
That's what they call it, the Rust Belt.
the Rust Belt. Yeah, all the high-paying manufacturing jobs have disappeared. So here we are.
Yeah, you're Flatlander.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm not entirely decided upon the issue, but I know this, that I don't like nonsense, and my senses tell me the Earth is not spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. When I look at the lake out in the back, it looks pretty freaking flat. And, the sun and the moon look to be about the same size, so that's where I sort of go. Like I start with my own senses, and then everything through me.
I know it took me about actually realistically it took me about 2 months to just like say, all right, I know what they're telling me is bullshit.
Took me 6 months.
And I don't know what the hell we're living on, and it could be part concave, part curve.
It could be. It really could be.
All that bullshit, but I know we ain't living on this spinning ball. That's I've come to that conclusion, but that's about it.
Well, you missed it maybe before, but I've iterated this earlier that I studied the epistemology of science, which is like the theory of how we know what we know, and what you discover is they just made arbitrary decisions. A collected group of people would just say, well, we think this is what the speed of light is. Right? They couldn't.
Why? Yeah, but why did they do that?
So they could proceed forward, because it was a stopping block for them. They couldn't go anywhere else. They were like, well, unless we know what the speed of light is, we can't proceed forward in our calculations or measurements. And they would just arbitrarily come up with it. So you get this. At one point, right? I don't know if you guys knew this, but all of the whatever they are, they threw away all of their meteorites because the farmers, the peasants, would bring in meteorites, and they said they fall from the sky, right? They said rocks do not fall from the sky, right? That's the end of it. And they threw away, all the museums threw away all their meteorites. They said, this is impossible. We don't believe this shit anymore. They just threw them all away.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Science has been this topsy-turvy world, and, people proceeding from this date and time believe it as though it were fact, and it's indisputable, and it's just not the case. There's a lot of potential deviation there, so... So that's where that's the point I'm coming from, right? Like, right, everything is sort of... I don't know. It's sort of unknown.
So anyway, you guys heard me. I put the watch page in the private chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
If you really want,
Anybody there?
It's called Flat Earth After Show. I don't know. I was feeling uncreative.
Well, no, that works.
I don't know if you guys ever looked into how they know or claim to know how far the stars are. It's ridiculous. Like especially the far star, the really far stars. It's just brightness. That's all.
For watching. Oh, okay. We are our own company right now. It's all good though. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry to interrupt, man.
Oh no, I was done. They just claim to measure the brightness of the stars, and it's like, oh well, okay, if the star is this bright, it's this far away.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. I don't. That whole concept just blows me away. How you can see something that's, well, and I'm talking. When I say, oh, well, you can see something 5 billion miles away, it's kind of like it's old hat to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, right?
Yep.
Ian, have you studied into that? Because I know Smed and Albert have been around it around enough that they know that it's like it's impossible to see light from that far away. Can't.
Yeah, you definitely can't see very far. If you think you can see over like 100 miles, you're pretty much crazy.
Yeah.
100 miles is if you're looking at something up, like above you. If you're looking straight across the flat Earth, you're gonna get maxed out at about 100 miles. Even if you have a camera or something to zoom in,
Yeah.
I have anybody from anywhere near 100 miles.
It doesn't
60.
matter how bright it is. I'm sorry.
They just think they can see forever, and they can't.
Ian, your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Ian
Ian dropped.
He did? Oh, shit. Oh.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be back, but he dropped.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead with what? I got nothing.
You were saying, how you were talking, I didn't want to interrupt it.
I'm not saying anything. But we can't be silent.
All right, yeah, no, I'll speak my piece. I didn't want to speak it when fucking caught on the show. I just fuck, man. I got attacked, and I'm just, I like you guys, I like the whole show, and I don't dislike Dan at all. He's not my favorite friend, but I don't hate on him, and I just wanted to say my piece. Jesus Christ, it was blown up in my face by Conk, which I don't get it, whatever, and I regret what I said, but I don't know what else to do.
You're fine. It's okay. Conk blew up on me one time. Conk blew up on Dan one time. So it's all cool. We've all
on me yet.
we've all gotten our fair share of Conk coming at us, but it's okay. It's kind of like,
Well, I got it from Yvette too, so I mean, it's like whatever. I'm just like,
out of hand on that night, but you're cool. You're cool now.
Yeah, whatever.
It happens. Every one of us has an off night where we fuck shit up. Like, we just say shit we don't even mean necessarily. Shit like that happens. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, alright.
So yeah, I don't know where Ian went, but he's gonna get minus 50 DKP if he doesn't come back.
Yeah, no, he was pretty cool. So what are you doing, Smed?
Oh, I'm just working out.
So, hey, what do you do for a living, man?
I'm retired, but I'm a top
Yeah,
surfer.
right.
But I'm not working right now.
Well, that's okay.
No, I'm medically retired.
You're
100%.
medically retired?
Yeah,
You have a
remember?
medical retirement?
Yeah, from the Marines, remember?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that part.
Oh, I thought maybe it was somebody else I told. Yeah, I got blown up in Iraq.
Yeah, our boy Smedley got blown up for us.
Oh,
He
fuck,
got,
I didn't hear that, man. I'm sorry.
he ain't got all of his
Shit.
fingers.
Yep.
What are you losing, man?
2 fingers, and my left leg got pretty messed up too. I got some nerve damage.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't be able to deal with that shit.
Dude, I know, I didn't hear
I
that,
need
man.
my fingers. Where the fuck are they?
Hey, I apologize, man. My bad. Fuck,
Oh,
I'm
that's alright.
on that show.
Alright.
Hmm. Well, that's cool. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
No. Well, I mean, you look stressed in your face, but yeah.
I'm just working
whatever.
out, so that's why.
It sounds like you're more stressed about your family.
Yeah, I am, because
Yeah.
they're more crazy than I am, and they're sitting there telling me I have post-traumatic stress when I don't.
Oh, yeah. God.
And it's not even my immediate family; it's my extended family. So
Oh, you married?
what's that?
You married?
No, it's just my uncle,
Okay.
my dad's brother.
That extended. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And you don't even know me that well. He's just like, oh, you think he's got post-traumatic stress because he doesn't have a job. Oh.
We got Ian back. I got it back.
Yeah. Hey, I
Okay,
think we
thanks,
know.
guys.
Hey, Smet, I think we know you better than you know you, or they know you. I
Yeah,
should
for
say.
sure.
Uh, Oh, good.
Well, you guys actually listen to me, so.
I listen to you when you're not singing. I love you, but
Bravo.
that's why we don't get copyright strikes when you sing.
Good, funny.
Uh,
You can sing anytime, brother.
No, he just needs a better tune. Go.
It's
Oh,
a better song.
fuck you.
I was like, it
Albert.
was
Yeah,
like
fuck
5
you, Albert.
o'clock in the morning listening to the live show, and I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? Somebody's singing.
I know, and it was probably Smed.
beautiful, isn't it?
It could have been Cock, little shit.
That was good. That's a good song, though. I like the song, so I was like, yeah, go.
So, hey, do you have it pretty rough over there, man?
In Iraq?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Not really. Kind
You
of.
just you got unlucky or what?
Yeah. So, I mean, I got injured 16 days into it, so
Oh, fuck.
it's kind of like a
That
bad
sucks.
vacation.
Yeah, no shit, man. 16 days?
Were you one of those dudes who looted the Iraqi museum and took all the artifacts?
No.
No, he was later on. So, did you get a IUD or what? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was an IED. We were walking through a village, and we came across some insurgent graffiti that was booby trapped, and we were supposed to take pictures of the graffiti to like take note of like which groups are operating in what area or whatever, kind of like gang stuff. And I guess I should have realized that it was booby trapped, but I was a newbie and I didn't know fucking left from right. Well, it was only 16 days, so I walked right up to it, and as soon as I walked right up to it, they set it off. Yeah.
Was somebody else impacted more? Or
No, I got it the worst, but there was one other Marine who got some shrapnel in the back of his leg. I think there were 2 Iraqi police that were with us too who got injured a little bit. I don't know the extent of their injuries though.
so you got a finger and a leg?
2 fingers, and I didn't lose the leg, but it just got pretty messed up, and I got nerve damage, so I can't can't dorsiflex my left foot.
Yeah.
It's called foot drop.
Well, I said yet. I meant with a question mark.
No, I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not.
No, I meant can you get it back or?
Oh, no. Well, maybe miracles. Who knows? I don't know. Probably not.
Become a cyborg.
So you can't walk. You can't fucking walk, right?
No, I can walk. I just can't really sprint.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I can kind of jog, but it's kind of retarded looking.
Yeah. Well.
So,
Sorry about that, my friend.
That's all right.
Ian, what have you got for us? Or anybody? Any spending?
Ian.
Got something
No
spent?
problem.
No, not much.
Don't make me
Ian.
talk about angels. I'll do it.
Oh God, here goes. Hey,
What?
Ian, jump up. He's going to talk about non-producing aliens.
Can you hear me? I guess not.
There you are. Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were having a pretty profound discussion, so.
We were, so we can continue.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about?
Hey, if you don't talk about something, if you guys can't figure it out, I'm gonna go angel mode on you.
Well, I can talk about all kinds.
Enough of them are. Who are the Nephilim?
You want to talk about the Middle East? Medley will know about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know kind of what's going on.
Kind of. Well, who was there first, right? The French were there, and the British were there, and now the Americans are there. It's sort of an old story, right?
The Jews have always been there.
Yeah, the Jews have been there.
Actually, that's incorrect. They haven't always been there. The Jews didn't come until, Judah.
Oh God.
Well, they've been loaning money all around the world, so they've been there in one way or another.
Yeah, everybody hates it when I open my mouth.
You think that's incorrect?
Like, oh, Albert, shut up, man. Let us.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. It's like the Jews aren't all the people of Israel, so.
Yes, all Israelites are not Jews, but all Jews
No,
are.
of course. Judea is a geographical location in the Middle East.
Right,
It
right.
doesn't mean shit. It's like saying I'm an American.
Right. Wow,
Oh,
that's
you're
great.
right.
We
I
all
get it.
came from all over the place. Like,
But there is a sort of reoccurring theme. Like the Jews have been kicked out of 130 countries around the world. So
Sure.
what do you do with that?
are they the real Jews or are they the fake Jews?
I don't know. They're the people that have been kicked out of 130 countries around the world.
The fake Jews.
That does sound like the real Jews.
Well, right. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
If they're gonna hate Israel and their God, of course they're gonna kick them out. They're gonna be like, "Yo, take your God." And get
They were kicked out of Christian nations for the most part, and
well, they got kicked out of Egypt.
Right.
I know
Well,
that.
we didn't. I say we. We didn't believe in usury for the longest time, but yes.
yeah. Well, and the Catholics set up the Jews so they could, or the fake Jews, so they could run the banking system and make a bunch of money.
Right. And how do you
Yeah,
think you got the federal?
Were they the fake Jews, or did they steal a bunch of shit out of Egypt and the Pharaoh was chasing their asses down because they're like. Oh.
No, those were the real Jews.
That was all the workforce. They just let the workforce go.
I don't think
course
so.
you're gonna
I
wanna
think
get
that
that
the shepherd kings, and I think that they were driven out of Egypt, and they were like, "Oh, let our people go." And
Well, they did let our people go, and then all the plagues came, and they were still. Pharaoh was like, "No, fuck you. You're staying here."
right,
Like,
and
so what,
God
my
hardened their
sorcerers-
hearts and all
My
kinds.
sorcerers can do the same shit you're doing right now. Like, no big deal. That's basically what was going down. And then all of a sudden, he was eventually, when his son died, he was like, "All right, fuck you. Get out of here. Like, be gone. Get out of my presence. Take all your shit and get the fuck out of here." And he left.
All right, brother. How is it going these days? Is God talking to Obama, right?
No.
And telling him to do things or
No.
not? Is his heart hardened, or is it
Nope.
God has absconded
Nope.
and he doesn't
Nope.
care?
He doesn't do any of that shit anymore. That's all.
Oh,
old
it's
days.
all done. So 2,000 years ago he was busy, and now he's like, I'm busy doing something else.
No. It's just how he's doing it. It's just how he chooses to do it. Back in olden days, wait, hold on. Back in old days, he would talk to the prophets. Through them, he would tell you. Now,
Now he talks to
none. There's nothing more to write. Everything's there for you. There's nothing left except for the finish it.
It could happen. Okay, well, I don't know.
Hey,
I
like
think
I
God
said-
talks to you every day, and
Just my view, dude. I get at least
I can dig it. I'm hearing you.
I get attacked for saying this shit all the time. So
No,
it's
you're not attacked, dude. You're
no, I know,
questioning.
I'm not attacking. You guys aren't attacking me, not at all.
No, you're questioning. That's all.
Smedley is.
Smedley attacked the fuck out of me. I heard that.
Well, Smedley's
He's going to
on.
get his M1 Garand.
I'm a terrorist.
Looking a little bit like Edward Snowden there, brother.
Well, I believe the whole idea behind, what the hell? Why isn't anything happening now? Huh?
What?
I don't get it.
322.
You're just not listening.
Down. 322
No.
yesterday. Didn't something?
No. I'm talking about with respect to God talking to us.
Oh yeah, no, he's not gonna talk to you
Why not?
How do
Why
you
shouldn't
know?
he?
because he doesn't do that anymore. He talked to the prophets back in olden days, but he doesn't do that anymore. Now the only
So they gotta fucking put it in writing, and I have to
Oh, I
believe it.
know. The
Fucking
only way you
writing. I
can
don't.
do it now is
That's bullshit in my mind's
on
eye.
him. That's it. It's that easy. All you have to do is believe in his son Jesus Christ, and you're good to go.
Okay, well,
Well, and he had one command. You know what it was?
What was it? Tell us.
Love your brother like you would like yourself. You know, like just
Right.
treat
As
everyone-
opposed to an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I
Yes.
have heard it said an
Sure.
eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say, love your neighbor as yourself. Well, he's like, fuck that. The Old Testament is bullshit. Why would you believe that?
Well, the Old Testament isn't bullshit. It's just
It
that
is.
way of doing things.
The Old Testament is full of the demiurgus, who is like
Well,
this
no,
sort of
it's
evil, wicked God who thumps you on your head and he gives you a back rub and then he thumps you on your head.
actually, I think there's more truth in the Old Testament than there is in the New, because the
You know
New
that
Testament
once
was
God his people-
based on the Old, and that's where they created the fucking religions, or religion,
Once
as
God
we
brought
so know it.
people out of Egypt. Once he
I'm
brought
sure
them
you're
out of
right.
Egypt, he later destroyed them because they believed not. So you see,
Right.
he's just going around killing these people over here, like, oh yeah, you can take them out, just kill them all, kill all their shit, kill their babies.
Hey,
No,
look
you're
up
Talking
numbers.
about Jesus again, though. Don't reference Jesus anymore in the Old Testament. I mean,
No,
you
you
know,
can't.
God couldn't kick their asses because they had steel chariots and that sort of thing.
What? What?
Yeah, that's Old Testament.
I don't know what you're
lore,
talking about.
right?
I know that the Israelites
Yeah, I'll
lost the
find it
battle.
for you.
They lost the battle
Yeah.
because they didn't have God with them because somebody took something from Jericho that they weren't supposed to take.
Yeah, because they had those people had steel chariots. I mean,
So what? They were fighting fucking giants. They were fighting Amorites. They were fighting giants, and more people got killed
Well,
by hail.
God can kick
God.
everybody's ass, and if God was on their side,
He
what's the
smoked their
problem?
asses. He killed them with fucking hailstones.
I'll
according
tell
to-
you what, you can take the steel chariots, and I'll take God, and we'll see who wins.
Yeah, I'll take God any. No wait, why do you get God? I get God. What the fuck? Take
That's
this
how it works. Like the prophets say, kill everybody and take the virgins. Oh no, fucking shit. That's what I do too, and I'm not God.
Well, hey,
Like,
look
the
at
virgins are mine.
numbers. Hey, look up Numbers 30 right now.
Numbers 30, or you mean 1333?
Numbers 30. Yeah, well, Numbers 30, and it would be, I think,
Oh my god, it's like I'm in a Twilight Zone. I got this residual freaking. I gotta do something about this.
well, no, I'm just, I'm saying that's where they indicate, or God through Moses indicates that you are to fucking destroy everything, but you can take the virgin women.
Right.
Well, he says
Yeah.
sometimes you can do some shit. Like
And you know, I could see destroying a whole fucking tribe because they are evil bastards, and they're
That's all
not.
that's
They're
all.
not of our blood kind, but why can
It has
they?
nothing to do with.
Why?
Has nothing-
Why would he allow for them to take?
Because obviously they're not
Virgins.
Nephilims. That's why.
Oh, the virgin, the young children that aren't that have not had sex are not
Certain ones
they're not
of
of the
certain
same blood
people,
type
you take
in the
wives.
village that they fucking ransacked.
You could take wives of some of those if you wanted, but some of them, he said, absolutely fucking not. And those were the ones. They weren't because they were Nephilims or anything. They were abomination hybrids. It was because they were so wicked and so evil, and they were unbelievers. That's the main problem.
Oh, because so they had the women in Numbers.
I bet you
13,
God does not get the kind of
30
reverb
or
I
whatever,
get.
13, whatever it is. Numbers 30. That was a whole fucking tribe that he told Moses to have his people destroy.
Yeah.
Dude, that was not God. That was my cousin Cletus. I'm telling you.
No, seriously. You know how
Cletus, my cousin Cletus was like, fuck that shit. Take the virgins for yourself. Dude, I'm telling you. I have it written down on my personal family record.
how many kings and how many peoples did Joshua destroy?
Who? Jesus? Yeshua? The oil? Who were we talking
No,
about?
not Yeshua. If I'm gonna say Jesus, I'll say Jesus. I'm not gonna do that Yeshua bullshit. I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to do that.
I said Joshua is what I meant. Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, talking New Testament?
I'm talking to all of you. He
No,
took
we're
out
talking.
32 motherfucking kings, at least 32 fucking kings and all their people. He destroyed them all,
Mm.
and he still didn't get them all.
That was the New Testament.
That's new to right.
Okay, well,
He did.
you know what, Albert?
My beef is just that everybody likes to. Go ahead.
No, I'm just like, hey, you got your belief. You got your belief. You know, my wife is
Sure.
she has her belief. My children have their belief. I'm not gonna fuck with their
Right.
belief because
Sure.
they
I'm just saying. It
What's wrong? What's
strong
wrong
belief
with you?
from right
is the
now.
problem.
doesn't say that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to squash any beliefs. I'm just saying this is what it says. Like,
Look, dude, there is one true God, and his name is Odin.
that is not what I'm saying.
I'm just telling you that that's the truth. I have experienced it. Odin spoke to me and told me he's the one true God.
Right. You know, so did freaking Osiris and all the rest of them.
What about Loki?
I know.
Yeah, Loki
Mhm.
told me that you're about to get murked.
Merc.
Yeah, that's slang for you're about to get killed. Murked.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go to a Valhalla if I don't die in battle anyway, so.
Well, you're not going to go there anyway because that's bullshit.
I mean, even if it
But
was real, would you really want to like fight every day for the rest of your life? Doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. The heaven and the new heaven and new earth is supposed to be where all this shit's gone. So all the naysayers are gone. There is no evil people anymore.
I know, but even Earth is Aeon, and all of that stuff is Aeon is the age, right? It's a new age. I don't know what that means exactly.
But I mean, honestly, if you're gonna come here and you're gonna tell me that you believe that the Earth is flat, or at least you're leaning that way,
Yeah,
not
well,
necessarily there yet, but
Yeah,
you're leaning towards it's not a ball. Like, so if science is wrong and it's not a ball flying around in
the problem here is that there's this sort of naivete. Like the Vedic texts say exactly the same thing. The Earth is a plane, only they also say there are 8 planes.
right, and they're very
People are like, oh, the Bible says this, and therefore it validates the Bible. And I'm telling you that every tradition has said the same thing. So if you're going to use that as a model for validation, well, I can pick a model.
right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Ever heard about?
I'm basing it off of the Bible here, the God of Isaac, Abraham, and
one
Jacob.
book.
All of
I don't
everything
care
that
who
anybody
you
else says is bullshit. All the rest of them are disqualified. I picked this one.
Yeah, because
you can decide
the
as you
Bible wants to justify
Right,
itself in
I'm just
front
telling
of
you
you.
where I'm coming from, so you know.
No,
that's
no,
where
I
I'm-
understand that.
I
no,
get it.
I understand that.
I just think things are much more sophisticated, and I think we're going right back and down into this materialism. Like, it's exactly like this. I can pound my fist on the table and say, this is how it is.
Fair enough. Did you have
That's
something,
all.
Bradley?
Yeah.
I can see things sort of solidifying. It's already going that way. Like even in the Ace group, you know, where Ace's people come from, they're kind of going that way. They're like, we don't entertain any other ideas. This is how it is. And I'm like, I don't know how it is.
Right.
That's how I got here
I'll
because I
entertain all
don't
your
know how
ideas.
it is.
Yeah, you can speak your idea. I'm just going to disagree with it and flag it just so everybody knows that I don't agree with that.
Of course we know that.
I'm not like trying to shit on you.
Albert.
You're not trying to shit on
Albert, hey, you know what?
No, I didn't take it that way.
Your
No,
opinion
we're
is
just both
your
talking.
opinion is
We're all just talking, and everybody else can make up their own mind. They can hear what I have to say. They can hear what you have to say,
Yeah.
and they can figure it out in between. Maybe we're both wrong.
well, there is no definitive fact.
Right.
In my opinion,
There is,
I don't think there is.
nobody can claim to know the whole truth. Like, that's
No,
retarded.
you can't. I mean, if you can, you would be the creator yourself, right?
Right. Then you would be the
Everybody
creator
agree?
yourself.
Yeah. So all we're left with is opinions.
Yep.
Have
And
you guys
sometimes those opinions are going to clash, and sometimes it's not going to be pretty. But anyway, you go ahead. Sorry, my
Have
bad.
you guys ever looked into the mathematical patterns that are in the Bible?
I've heard about the
Yeah,
Bible. but
gematria.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything with it because I think it's kind of silly.
Yeah, Ian knows gematria. Yeah. I've looked into it, but I haven't studied it deeply.
I don't
Have you?
believe it, but yes.
It's
Yeah.
interesting shit, but I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I know what it's about. I mean, I've looked into the Bible. I spent 20 years with the Bible. I'm not like some piker that doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's up to you. I mean, you know, everybody's got to come up to their own conclusions, and I think we're supposed to be that way.
Right, well, it'd be a pretty fucking boring place if we all thought the same shit and we were like a bunch of zombies and robots just walking around all the time doing the same shit, and there was no variety, and like all the squirrels were the same color, and like all the
Right.
birds were the same. They're just fucking robins all around us. You'd be like,
Yeah,
"This
that's what they're talking about now. The hammer of homogenization. You can call it whatever you want. I mean, yeah.
Hey, really, what does it really come down to? Are you a good person? Or are you bad?
Well,
Yeah.
I certainly try and be a good person, but what does that mean? You know, that's sort of subjective, I guess, to some degree.
well, all
I think
I'm saying is that there's only
children.
one name you can be saved by."
Well, and then there's your catch 22. There's a belief that you have to follow a certain person and believe in a certain person, otherwise you ain't gonna aspire to the higher realms when you die, right?
Yeah, well, in my opinion, there's no higher realms because whatever goes down, what
Well,
happens?
however you want to describe it.
And there's a new earth, and the new Jerusalem comes down to earth, and then God
Yeah.
dwells on earth. So we're not actually ever going to heaven.
So I could be twice as good as you, not that I am, and I'm probably twice as bad, who knows. But I could be twice as good as you and not have this belief in my mindset, even though I know of it, and spend eternal life in a burning fucking hell?
No,
Really?
see, that's where you got it wrong. See, because if you're in the kingdom and you're saved, then you have eternal life. So if you're gonna get thrown into the lake of fire and you're gonna say that you're gonna get burned there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, that's eternal life too, except it's eternal death. Like you're still alive and you're still feeling all this pain, right? So no, what I
It's
think,
all for the
way I
greater
think-
glory of God. Don't you get that?
The way that I see it is that when you die the second death because you were not believing in Jesus Christ, your sins are not paid for. Therefore, you partake in the second death, where you get thrown into the lake of fire, and that kills you completely. That kills your spirit too. So you're totally fucked. You're deleted basically from the entire cosmos.
Annihilation.
Yeah, you're annihilated. There's no your torment rises up forever and ever, just like in Sodom and Gomorrah. But is Sodom and Gomorrah still on fucking fire right now? No.
Well, I know most of us are born to go to hell, I guess, so what are you
Yep.
going to do? Because it's all for the greater glory of God, because he needs that. I mean, how
Right.
could you go to hell and have him bereft of his greater glory? How do you
Right.
rectify that? There's some insignificance or shortcoming in God's glory then, right? Because
You're the
if we
shortcut.
don't go to hell, God could not be glorified. How's that
What I don't
work?
understand is why there
Explain that
is-
to me.
What I don't understand is why there is even a hell if you're just gonna be deleted anyway. Why not just be
Well,
deleted?
no, the hell is for Satan.
Hell is all of this shit is representative of your kundalini. If you go to hell, you act like an animal and you are in the lower levels. That's what it means.
See,
You
that's
are in hell. You act like a beast.
spiritual
And
shit.
if you're in the Midgard, you're in the middle, and that's part of your middle kundalini.
That sounds
right?
like the kind
And
of shit
as you, I know it's all pagan, which is
No, from the freaking channeled messages that I used to listen
channel. I never talked to a channeler in my life. This is a reoccurring theme for thousands of years with all the traditions
Right.
around the world, and you're gonna
to. They were doing.
exclude them and be like, I read this book and this must be true.
Mhm.
Moby Dick must be true.
will
I don't
actually
know about
say
that.
they do that. I know it. You can not like that, but that's what I do.
Okay, well that's up to you then. If you
Yeah.
believe that, I
Yeah, and
Never
you know,
gonna
you aren't going to be
I
harmed
wish
by
you the
it,
best.
Albert.
I
Not
don't
gonna-
think it works like that.
Never
God
gonna-
does not take his children just like you wouldn't take your children and cast them into hell and be like, I feel glorified
Yeah,
for
well,
this.
that's the
No
thing.
way.
Exactly.
No
No, that's
way.
the thing
No
you're missing.
way. You
Hold on,
are
that's-
built in the image of God, and it doesn't mean a physical entity. Like, you
You're
can
built in the
define
image
good
of
from
God.
evil, and if you're like, I can't distinguish the evil God from the good God, that is the demiurgus, the lesser God. That God of the Old Testament is not a wonderful, kind being. He will torture your ass to death.
But it
He's
sounds-
not a good person.
He's not a person, so it's okay.
A god, whatever you call him, he's a lesser god, a demiurgus.
But seriously, Son of God, look, that's why I bring up all this stuff with sons of God. Because if you're not a believer for real in Him, then you're not a son of God. You're a son of man.
I know.
Totally different. You're
Well,
gonna be like, oh, God would throw His
So
children.
is that a mental construct that you're saying?
Hold on. If you're gonna say that God would throw His children into this furnace, see, that's the thing. He's not throwing His children into the furnace. He's saving them. All of the other people who didn't believe in His Son and do all that, they're the unbelievers. They're the ones that go with Satan. They're the seed of Satan. That doesn't mean Satan actually like fathered them and like had sex with a woman. It's spiritual talking. See what I'm saying?
Kind of, but yeah, we've heard that before.
You're
I've
not a
heard
son
it.
of God. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, then you're not a son.
Then I go to hell.
Blank. That might hurt
I
some
go to
people.
fucking hell, right?
Not.
If I don't believe in Jesus Christ as the Savior, as your Savior, I go to hell.
I don't even know if I could call myself a son of God, because you know what? I would hope that I'm counted worthy, but I can't sit here and tell you like, oh, I'm definitely saved. I know it. Like I speak to him like, no, I would never tell you that shit. No.
Yeah, well, this save shit is just way over the top.
I hope that
My
I'm saved.
opinion.
That's it. That's all I can do. Like I can't do much more. I can't fucking change the world. I can't, be the next president. I can't do anything. Even if I was the next president, what the fuck am I gonna do?
You'll be right next to Hillary Clinton.
I'll be right next to JFK and Abraham Lincoln.
Because she's the appointed one. Don't you guys understand that yet?
is Hillary going to
I
be?
know. I told Dan.
Yeah, she's the
I told
appointed
you it's
one.
not going to
Fuck
Bernie.
yeah.
Bernie's not going to win because
think-
Hillary is the one that they want.
It's not going to be any of these people we suspect it to be. Somebody's going to show up out of nowhere, right? And
Look, it's the Bushes and the Clintons.
Hillary.
Hello. Why
not
not?
gonna
We
be
have a
any of
first
them.
black president. Why not go and balls to the wall? We have a first woman president too.
First Jew.
Yeah, let's.
right. Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Well, that would be if Bernie got in, right?
That would be a first, wouldn't it?
That would.
Well, it's all going to be good times when they roll out the guillotines on the White House lawn.
You want Trump to do that, or you want Hillary? To do
Well, Trump's not going to. Trump might elevate he might put something like Trump Towers on top of the White House, but he's not going to roll out guillotines.
Oh.
Trump is a division right now. That's all he is.
Yeah,
I think he's working for the fucking Democratic Party.
But Bush dropped out, right? So like, I'm confused now because Bush.
Jeb?
I would have expected it to be Jeb versus Hillary or some shit.
No, there's
Fucking
going to be
Hillary's
some
got locked
lesser
up.
known character that's going to show up.
Well-
Mark my words. Trump's going to drop out, and
It could also be that some sort of bullshit goes down and fucking Obama gets a third term after all.
no.
Could be.
You know,
Hey,
why
Mark
do you-
my
why
words,
don't-
it's going to be
why-
a unknown third party
Right.
character.
You guys remember when Hillary kind of backed out of her race against our standing president right now?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, she backed out. She just kind of just like quit.
In 2008.
And then she got her position as Secretary of State. And in other words, she was told that her time is next. And it's coming on. I mean, right now there's a huge division in the Republican Party. Trump, but who knows if he'll even get there.
We're not
Even if he
going to
gets-
have another
even if he
Democrat.
gets-
Look, we are not going to have another Democrat. Because they're going to
I'll put
placate
money
the
on that.
population with some sort of conservative. I don't care if it's a nominal. No freaking way.
I put money on that. I don't want that.
How much do you have? Oh, dude, I will bet you all the tea in China.
I don't fucking have enough, but
No way. There is no way. I'm telling you. I've watched this in a dispassionate
well, we know
way.
it's
I've
not
watched
going to be
this long
Trump.
enough. I
We
don't
know it's
care
not gonna
who
be Trump.
wins, right?
So then who's going to sneak in the back door at the convention to get the nod?
Well, I don't know.
Because
I
it's
don't
gotta
know.
be,
I mean,
it's
we got a
gotta be
guy
one
here
of-
from
it's gotta be one of
Ohio they've been talking about a lot. Not Kucinich. He's got a strange name, something like that.
No, I'm saying that they have to backdoor somebody in at the convention in order for Trump not to be on the ticket.
Look, this is really reminiscent of Ross Perot. You remember Ross Perot? And
of course I
everybody
do.
was-
You
Yeah,
know,
right.
I'm 57 years old. I shook his hand when he was in Anchorage.
He was a great man.
yeah.
Do you also remember his ass dropping the fuck out? Do you remember that? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what he did.
and-
He dropped
Drop
out.
the fuck
Right,
out
he
of
just-
nowhere. It's like, what
He
the
got fucking. I think suicidal threats were probably pretty convincing.
But do you really
Right.
think Trump would succumb to that shit, or do you think he'd be like, "Listen, I have other men. They'll whack you first."
Well, I don't even think
You
it-
might be able to offer
think
Trump
of that.
$100,000 too, and he might just drop out. I don't really know. I mean, he's not. People are like, "Oh, he's a great businessman. He's declared bankruptcy 4 times. I mean, he's not a great businessman." I don't know. It's a strange. It's a psychodrama at work here, right? So that's what you need to do is
agree.
separate
Yeah, no.
yourself from it and take a good, clear look at it. That's what I try to do.
Well, that's why I say the Wicked Witch of the West is getting in, and because we have turned into a society that expects.
No way. There's no way.
expects. No,
We're
no,
gonna have
in
another
general.
Democrat. Dude, you risk a rebellion and all. I'm just telling you, if I was in power, I wouldn't fucking do it. And I could put anybody in office. I'd pick my man. But I wouldn't put the dragon lady in fucking office. No way, no how. I mean, you'd be crazy. Batshit fucking crazy to do that. Why would you do that? You put at least some sort of nominal Republican.
Well, you know
He's
what?
a Republican. He loves you.
You know what? I hope you're right. Trust me. I fucking. You know what? I do. I truly.
Well, it's
Truly
worse
hope
if
you're
I'm right, because all things move along even quicker.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
Right? No, it doesn't. They'll be like, he's a conservative, and I don't care what he does. He can let 10 trillion Mexicans into the country, and they'll be like, but he's a conservative, so we like it. So I'm telling you,
It doesn't
People-
fucking matter.
the psychodrama plays out, and it continues, and they get behind their team. They don't care what their team's doing. It's their team in office. That's
But
where
Ian, I think she's going in. I think that's her agenda.
the dragon lady. Well, it's Bill
Dragon lady.
Clinton. I don't know, 3.0, I guess.
Well, hey, we got a fucking gay fucking black person. How's that black person, right?
Whatever do you mean? He's got
Well, and what's next? We get a fucking woman.
Maybe we'll get a tranny.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
not
the
trans,
possibilities
but-
are maybe Bruce Jenner's, well, whatever she calls it, that thing. I don't know. I get confused.
God damn!
Caitlyn.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that little motherfucker?
I
Going
saw
out
it.
there.
I was at the CVS and I was like looking at the what was it? The woman's magazine. I was like, that is the ugliest fucking woman I think I've ever seen in my life. And it turned out to be Bruce Jenner. And I was like, oh, that makes perfect. No. Yeah.
Hey, if I'm making too much noise, I apologize.
Way too much noise.
Shit.
Those are serious wind chimes run.
Yeah, it was. Sorry.
Oh, pots.
Yeah. All right. Hey, that's good. It's all good, man.
Brandon, I hope we got it all out of your system there. Hillary's gonna win. She's in. You're betting Smudley Butler for $1,000.
Hey, whoa, hey, what?
Hey, you didn't hear that, Smash?
he's going for Trump, and I'm voting for the no
He woke
man.
his ass up.
Right.
I vote for Jesus Christ.
I vote for
There
it.
you
Good man.
go. All right. You got 2 Jesus Christ votes and
That means
1
Jesus.
Hillary and
Oh,
1 independent.
crap.
He was
Oh,
taking
good.
it back.
Hmm.
It's okay, it doesn't matter because when Jesus comes, all the kingdoms of the earth become his. So it doesn't matter who's president; he's going to just take them all.
Take him out.
Damn it.
Taking
You
out
think
the
he's just
suburbs.
You think he's just
I hope
going to
you're
come
right,
out of
man.
clouds?
I hope I'm right too, because if I'm wrong, I'm so. I don't even know what to believe at that point. Now I just probably just suck. You know, like what is the point?
Sorry.
Oh,
No, it's nice to be alive, but like, what's the point? Look at all this retarded shit going on around us. Like, what the fuck? Can't I just like have a garden and like just have some sheep or some shit? And
no.
do my
God blew himself up, man. He's bored, right? What are you going to do? The omnipotent and omnipresent being. What are you going to do?
got a plan.
Just sit
And
here and be like, oh, yes, I'm omnipotent and omnipresent.
well,
So
look,
you
he
make
has
little
a plan.
pieces of yourself and you hide them. What else can you do? And this is
Yeah,
why you
that's what
get
it does.
good
It
and
reveals-
evil in this whole game. It has to go on.
No, it doesn't have to go on. He's got a plan, and he's gonna keep it. Obama said he could keep his plan.
Obama.
Maybe God made
Well,
everything.
that's
Plan.
Put himself in like an average human's body and was like living as one of us for shits and giggles.
right. Yeah, you are. I don't know. That's how I see it. You're a little spark of the divine yourself, and I am, and
Well, fair enough.
that's what I
I
think.
kind of agree with that.
So
I think we're all part of God. You know, I think we all
I wouldn't
go
say
back in unison with him.
He made us in his image. I mean, shit. Come on.
well, right. And some people are like, well, that means a man or a woman or something. Like he's not
Oh.
a physical being. I don't see that, but
Well, dude, I expect that when I see God, if I were to be standing face to face with him, like, he would look just like me, except he wouldn't, like, have my face, but he would be a man. Like,
well,
he'd look like this, but he wouldn't be
he
a man.
look like a burning bush,
We look like him.
a bush that's on fire.
He doesn't look like us. We look like
but
him.
he's got some pretty funny jokes.
Well, the burning bush, you know, maybe it wasn't really on fire.
It's a euphemism,
It's a
right?
miracle.
It's a euphemism for a bright light
That's what
and a
makes it a miracle.
fantastic light.
It could have been fucking drugs too. You know.
You saw a bush that was burning. It was on fire.
They-
It wasn't
they
being
crack
consumed.
back
You'd probably shit your pants. You'd be like, all right, what do you want me to do, dude? Like, seriously, I don't know where the fuck you are, but you're talking to me.
They probably found some fucking mushrooms in the
Well,
floor.
maybe they
and
did.
they went up in the goddamn, whatever.
I'm
And
gonna read it as a whole. Like, seriously, there's nothing that contradicts. It's all rape. It's, got to be
Oh,
something
boy.
more than just men
There's no
writing it down.
contradictions in the Bible, the
I
Old
mean,
Testament or the New. I mean, that is
Neither.
just
There are no
that is
contradictions
really fantastic.
whatsoever. None. Zero.
No, I know. And Moby Dick is the same way.
Nope.
No way. There's no contradictions except for the ones that there are. I don't really know.
No, the ones that are, the ones that are, the
Full of fucking
contradictions.
contradictions. What are you talking about?
No, you're talking
There's
about
no
I know,
contradictions.
you know, Ian, I know you're being
Different-
facetious.
One at a time.
Huh?
One at a time.
All right. Sorry.
Go.
It's less contradictions than the oral traditions of the pagan.
Yeah, we don't really have too many records of those, so I don't know.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
nothing to contradict, so you can never be wrong.
Right, because the Christians stomp theirs into the fucking dirt, so there's not much left. So we don't really have too much to compare it to.
You mean the Catholics, right?
No, Catholic is universal. So there was only Catholics at one time, and now there's Christians, but that's all there was at one time. So yeah, Catholics, Christians.
That's not true. There's the Orthodox. There was.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't. Orthodox. All of these branches came up later. I don't care I don't care what you want to call them, but there were later additions.
The original
You
Christian
were a
church was
Catholic
not
or you
Catholic.
weren't.
The original Christian church was not Catholic.
Yeah, because it
No.
wasn't like a church. It wasn't like a place you could go. There was no pope. Jesus didn't endorse a pope.
Yeah, Jesus didn't. As far as I know, he didn't even bring them religion.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm here to
All the
start some
people that are like, oh, you're one of those religiotards. It's like, no, I have nothing to do with religion whatsoever. I believe in God and I believe in His Son Jesus Christ. That's it. End of story.
Right.
You want to
The
assign
kingdom
me
of heaven
to the
cometh
camp
not
of
with
religion?
observation, nor shall they say, lo here or lo there. The kingdom of heaven is within you and without you.
You know your scripture.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not new to all of this. I just,
You just read it wrong.
Yeah, you're doing better than I would.
I'm just,
it's a difficult proposition. I just don't think everything's so clear, like the,
right. No, it's definitely not clear. You got to work at it.
yeah.
I agree. You got to definitely sit there and figure it out. Like, what the fuck is this verse talking about?
Right, yeah, and you're supposed to think about it. That's part of the
Right.
task. You're supposed to consider such things, and
Yep. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
right. Sorry, I keep getting this. Wow,
You have to learn how to mute your mic when you're done talking.
how do I do that? H time? Is that what you guys say?
Don't worry about the side chat because there's nobody there. Just stay in the
No,
head.
but I mean, I hear this residual conversation. Everything everybody says, I get this residual
It's
conversation.
not in your side chat.
It's got to be your watch page or something. I mean,
Well, I don't think he's opened it.
you guys
No,
don't be on a watch page or anything. If this is the
No, I don't
only
think
thing you
it's
have
open.
open, I don't see any reason for that happening.
yeah, that's all I have open as far. Yeah, that's it.
Unless your volume is too high for yourself. I don't hear you echoing. I don't hear anything. Echo.
Me either.
All right. Oh, that's better. I shut down another page I had going. Maybe that was
Oh.
it. Okay, thanks, you guys.
Yeah, we're pros at this, you know.
Right.
We've
Wow,
only
that
been
was-
doing it for almost 2 months now.
A fucking technological marvel. I was like, I can't figure this out. I'm like, I should be able to figure this out. What's the problem?
Ron and Smedley came after me, though.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, you know, I'm sitting here eating eggs, so sorry, guys.
They're good, dude. I have to go feed my ducks and chickens later.
No, actually, they're fresh eggs. I got them from a friend. They were,
You have to feed your ducks and chickens. But they don't lay out eggs all the time, do they, Smedley? Or,
Yeah.
Albert?
No, they don't, actually. If it gets really cold, I've had days where there's nothing. Nothing. No eggs, not even one.
I know.
Really?
Next day, they'll be like fucking 9 or so. I'll be like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Right.
how many
Lay
eggs?
eggs every
You got
day,
like
you
a
know.
dozen?
Huh?
No,
No,
they,
you got like a dozen?
I have
dozen
11
chickens?
birds. I have 11
Oh.
birds. I have five ducks and 6 chickens, so I can get 11 eggs a day. But I've never actually gotten 11 eggs a day. I've only
Can you
gotten
pretty well survive off of that then? I mean, as far as food goes.
Oh no, I try and grow my own food as well. Like I have very.
Oh, yeah. What else do you grow?
If there's anything you want, dude. What you want? I got all sorts of fruits. I got all sorts of vegetables from all sorts.
Fruits? Are you? You're in a warm climate then, are you?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, no, that's not much better than Ohio. Okay.
I bring all my tropical plants in my basement for the winter, and then I put them back outside in the spring.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and once it gets big enough, I have a theory that even though the scientists tell me that I can't have a fucking oak or a longan tree or some shit like that in my fucking backyard in Pennsylvania, I'll be able to do it because the trunk is thick enough and it'll be able to choke the cold.
You've tested that, then, have you? You've tested that?
No, I'm trying to test it. I have
I see.
But they're all very young. I have to wait like 2 or 3, 4, 5 more years before I can give you an update on that.
That's a lot of investment.
You know how much fucking some of these tropical trees cost? Like they're fucking retarded in price. People charge, like I just bought a fucking miracle berry plant. You ever heard of that?
I haven't.
A miracle berry. So it's this berry that you can eat, and if you're gonna eat a lemon, let's say, if you eat the miracle berry first, it makes anything that tastes sour or bitter taste sweet. So you eat this John first, and then you can eat a lemon and just be like, oh, this is the greatest lemon ever. Like you'll just eat it, like no problem. It's not even sour at all. So this tree, they're selling. You could get a little seedling, and you could probably pay up to $20 for like a little like bullshit seedling that has been alive for 6 months. I paid $50 for a fucking like 4 or 5 year old tree, so I'm gonna get some fruit this year.
And it's sitting in your basement with grow lights.
No, actually, that one's upstairs, but
that one's upstairs.
The other trees are down here in the basement because it doesn't matter.
So you're trying to be self-sufficient, though. I mean,
yes, I'm trying to be self-sufficient as best as I can.
Oh, okay.
You're in a city or not?
No, I'm outside Philly. I'm like 20 miles outside Philly. I'm in a place
called. A little bit of property.
Wait, I'm in a place called Fort Washington. They call it Fort Washington because George Washington.
Oh yeah.
He had a fort here one time. That's why they call it Fort Washington.
They're ready?
Yeah, wow. I know. Right down the road the street is Camp Hill. You know why they call it Camp Hill Road?
No, tell us.
That's where they camped.
Obviously, dudes camped on the hill. That's how bad it is. Yep.
That was kind of rude. Okay, yes.
And this is George Washington, founder of the United States, or first president, rather.
No, do you want to know something about George Washington?
Go ahead, tell me, because he was here.
He was. He was the single largest landowner in the United States after the American Civil War.
Yeah, but that was before there was, like, California.
Well, I'm just saying it fucking worked out pretty goddamn well. Do you know how many signers of the Declaration of Independence died in the American Civil War?
A lot.
0. Not one of them.
Not one? Holy shit.
Not even
No, he's talking about the
them.
signers. He's not talking about the fucking people.
No, the signers. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not one of them died.
Like,
They're all lawyers, dude. They're lawyers.
That's a good point.
I looked, dude.
They're all
I was
fucking
like
lawyers.
I was in the freaking militia for a while, and
right, none of them died.
To compound this, and then you start looking into it. I don't know. I mean, you look into the anti-federalist papers, and they're like, if you sign the Constitution, you're going to have a civil war in 5 years. And guess what? Bingo. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on here. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. There's definitely something to all this shit. Why do they?
The Federalist Papers is what we should have fucking.
Why do they even teach us about all this shit in the first place? Surely there's got to be a mode or an like. Keep in mind all the shit they didn't tell us about, but then keep in mind all the shit that they did tell us about. Why the fuck did they tell us what they did tell us?
Well, you know what they call that in like the occult world, right? That's called mocking the victim. That's what they call it. I mean, they call it mocking the victim. They're telling you what you're doing to you, and if you do nothing about it, you're doubly enslaved. Like if you just sit there and say, "Well, it's okay," That's what they call it, mocking the victim, and you're
Right.
doubly enslaved. And,
I'm going to tell you that the Earth is a ball all day long, and you're going to believe it.
right?
And I'm just going to sit here and mock you all day long in the movies, and in the media, and in the news, and anywhere I can.
Sure. I mean, how much more powerful does it make you feel? Like, if you really know
How
that,
is there any more power that you could get? Like,
right? How stupid is the populace? I mean, you've actually convinced them that the Earth is spinning underneath their feet,
I mean, dude,
contrary to their senses, right? So it's
right?
literally nonsense. You can't feel it, right? It's
Nonsense.
nonsense. And they've convinced you of nonsense.
And you believe it, and you would defend the fuck out of it.
That's right. To
You
your
died
death.
for it.
So, Ian, what's keeping you off not believing in the ball totally?
Well, I sort of have a more. It's not that. I just think that. I think that this plane we live on is a more ethereal plane, and I don't know if I'm really willing to define it. That's all. I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm
no,
really
I got
willing
you. You know,
that,
the
like,
words,
you can
you're not
put
saying
it in
flat.
a book and say it's like this exactly, because it may be designed to confound your ass. Like, as
Right.
soon as you try and say it's like this,
Right.
right?
You
No,
make a
I
mistake.
got you, man.
Fingers, and I just don't know.
Well, I just meant the model that they are presenting. Is
Oh,
all
I
I'm
see.
saying,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Because we all know that's bullshit, and I think you do too.
Yeah, I do. I don't buy that. I just
Yeah, and I don't understand what's going on. Like I said, it could be part concave, part convex. It could be, who knows what the hell it is. But
You could be a
I'm of the mindset that it's our center of the universe. But outside of
well,
that,
right. And it, for us, what I think the real rub here is they've moved us, humanity, out of the center, and that's
Mhm.
really what it's all about. And there's no other reason for this place to exist. Call it whatever you want, but there's really no other reason for it to exist. A bunch of uninhabited rocks spinning around. You know what I mean? It really doesn't make any sense. So, yes, I think that we have an importance and a role to play in this whole thing, whatever that looks like. So, yes.
yeah, and that's probably what dragged you to this channel, I would suppose.
Well, of course, like I said, I have my own beliefs that don't exactly correspond, but I've always believed. I mean, for me, a belief in a creator, right, is the fact that we are here. I don't care if the Earth is spinning or it's a ball or whatever. That the fact that there is sentient life that's it for me. Well, I don't really care what their planets is. We should not be here. There's no reason there should be any sort of sentient life at all. So that's enough for me. The rest of it is, a talking point, and it's interesting, and I've always had an interest in such things, but that's always going to be enough for me.
Right, we're here. So you would rather believe that God created us over we're just some sort of accident that just so happened to come out of the tiny corner of the cosmos that is so insignificant because we're around an insignificant star and an insignificant planet. We just have all this fucking life on this planet, but we can't find it anywhere else.
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah,
hello,
that's the whole
people,
point.
if it doesn't punch you in the face by now, like, oh, you guys are fucked.
Yeah, you're not paying
You guys
attention.
somewhat believe, so I believe, maybe you guys, maybe you will be in the kingdom. I hope you are.
Well,
For y'all. Y'all are my brother, whether you like it or not. I'm not gonna hate on you.
I won't hate on you either.
Right? He said,
Nobody hates on nobody.
you know what?
I hate ball.
We disagree on everything, like me and Dan. We disagree on everything. I'll be like, hey, what kind of ice cream cone you want to get? Which one's the best? He'll be like, vanilla. I'll be like, I like chocolate.
Oh, Dan's a
strawberry.
malcontent.
Like, no, we can't agree on anything. I'll be like, which way's
I
up?
get it.
I'll be like, well, up.
Yeah, D-sauce.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna take off, guys. I'm tired.
All right, good night, man.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, night.
Peace, love, prosperity.
Hey, I'll see you in probably a couple of months.
Okay, cool, man. I'll be here.
Yeah, I'll look you up.
Cool. All right. Peace.
All right.
A documentary I want you guys to see if you want to watch it. It's pretty good. I'll link
What's it called?
in the side chat. Well, it's called it's just somebody copying. So I don't know what the actual name of the documentary is. It's just some clown putting it on YouTube.
Have you guys? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Have you guys seen Balls on Physics yet? Have you guys seen his channel?
Mm-mm.
Well, he's the engineer. He does lots of good stuff. So it's worked out pretty methodically.
You're talking about
Brian Mullen.
Brian, yeah. No, I've seen all his.
Have you seen it?
Videos.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I personally think he does pretty good work, and
Yeah.
I like him. So
I agree. Has he put anything out recently, or?
yeah,
or no?
he's gonna do a moonlight experiment. I haven't watched the whole video. You know, it was sort of interrupted by this thing, but he's gonna do a moonlight experiment. So
is it temp based or what?
I don't actually know. I mean, I started watching it, and it's the prelude to the experiment, and he's sort of explaining the physics behind it. So I haven't actually seen the experiment yet. But
yeah, and I think he's just. Is he still a student, or I think he's a.
Oh, if he's a student,
he's an engineer. No, he's an engineer.
Dude, yeah, he's an. I was going to say if he's a student, boy, oh boy, he's not doing so well. He's got to be.
Well, no, he's in his mid-30s. I would assume, based on looking at him. So, but yeah, no, he's got some good shit. I liked his analysis of planes landing on a spinning globe.
Oh yeah, that's a good
one. Did you remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. How he. Even took into the assumption that you're in you have relativity, and you're flying in a space that's flying at this certain speed, and you're traveling at a certain speed. Inside of that speed is traveling.
Right. Right. Even if you're traveling within the atmosphere and you change the course, how does that work?
Yeah.
Right? So you change the course within the atmosphere, and they're saying, well, it's irrelevant, but how can it be irrelevant? See, there's so many things that you're like, yeah, how does that work? Like, you start looking into it, and you're like, oh, right, yeah. Crickets, you know what I mean? How does that work?
And I got several pilot friends, and I'm reluctant to even breach the topic with them because they'll think I'm fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I enjoy their company and I enjoy their friendship, and but I'll breach it, and I have a little bit. I say, how do you do this? How do you do that? What's up with this? And they kind of look at me with a weird, they give me a weird look, but they can't really answer.
You need to walk in there and just start pounding your fists on the table and be like, the Earth is flat.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That's how I approach things, too. I just ask little questions around. I peck around the edges a little bit. Like, yeah, how does that work? Moonlight's supposed to be colder than sunlight.
Well, I don't think it's, and I've pounded my fist on this one. I don't think the moonlight is colder. I think the moon sucks juice, sucks energy.
Well, and that's what Brian Mullen's saying too, right? He's saying the same thing, that it creates a sort of like a vacuum, right? And he's like, hot goes to cold, and he's suggesting that it just evacuates energy from the. I don't know.
From bodies.
Right, from the bodies around it.
From bodies, whether it be your body, or that's why when you got a full moon, that's why people freak out.
You don't want to hear
What'd you say, Albert?
I said you don't want to hear my answer.
Yeah, tell me.
Oh, God. Here we go.
The moon is a light. End of story.
Yeah, no, it
I
provides.
don't actually not want to hear that. I'm not.
That's fine.
How does it work though? I really have no fucking idea.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm actually skeptical that, like, okay, this is like saying that you can launch yourself in a can to heaven, right? The gates of heaven, and Peter is going to be sitting there, and you're going to show up in your can and be like, I want to go to heaven, and he's going to open the gates and be like, you can go there. I think it's maybe like a more ethereal realm. Like, you can't go there in this physical form.
You're right.
It's simple, right? So that's how I go with it. So.
Just like angels can't have sex. You can't do that shit.
Right. Well, I don't have a...
Well,
like
angels,
Well, come on, if we can't go to
no,
the...
I have not ruled out the possibility that angels can take the form.
Why would they? Well,
inhabit persona.
they can appear as a man, but that doesn't mean they become a man. Doesn't mean they magically get a dick and they can just... You know?
Yeah. Hey, listen.
I haven't seen anywhere in this
I've heard your, I know that's your, that's your mainstay of your argument.
Well, he's being consistent.
Fallen angels.
I haven't seen anywhere in the scriptures where it says that one of the angels was derobed and that somebody actually got to see their junk or anything. There's no scriptures for that.
Strangely enough, Albert, I could probably agree with you on that point. Right, it's a strange thing, but I think it makes a lot of sense to me. So, yes.
I know.
The Greeks called it the demonic realm, and Christians have translated it into demons. But if you look at the American Indians or the flying saucer phenomenon or whatever, like when the American Indians would encounter these otherworldly beings, they would show up in a fucking canoe, right? And they would be like, they would not be like, oh, you must be from Zeta Reticuli.
Oh,
this is a more recent development.
Yeah, they weren't just like, oh shit, the dude just came down from Sirius B.
Right.
No, whatever being told them that shit, they summoned that motherfucker, and then they asked them, yo, where you from? And they were like, you see that star up there? Oh, yeah, I see it. You see the one behind it? And they're like, no.
Well, it's not to say they weren't from there, but I'm saying that are they physical beings? And it's the same. It makes a lot of sense when you look at the UFO phenomenon, and they're like, we're going to find a flying saucer. Well, you're not, because it's not made of prima materia stuff like we're used to. You can't find it. It doesn't work like that.
I agree.
That's not what you're seeing. So, that's where I
not an actual physical object.
Right. It's not, and this is where we have this sort of rampant materialism. Like, we're going to find something you can cut and burn and measure, and and so it's
right.
Totally
It's kind of like when they tell me that a meteor crashed here and wiped out the dinosaurs, and this is so where are all the meteor fragments, motherfucker? Where are all the pieces of rock? It was a huge thing. Where the fuck are all the pieces? Can't find any? Oh, I guess it wasn't a fucking meteor after all. I guess it was a volcano.
Sorry, you're making me laugh there. Yeah.
The one thing that's got me, though, is the giants. The giants of old.
Giants of old. Yeah, I have no doubt there were giants. I have no beef against that. It's just my beef is with how the giants got there.
And you know what? I don't, and your beef is, it doesn't matter to me, but I understand because you got people that are preaching that left and right.
They got teaching that fucking angels came and banged women and there's Nephilims. Yeah, you got people.
Yeah, no. So I can see why you're bitching about that.
Well, what do you do with that exactly?
No, it's because they're trying to go off on this wild tangent. I'm just trying to flag them and be like,
no, but I mean, who are those characters? Okay, well, what's an alternate explanation is what I want to know.
Oh, well, if you want, the alternate explanation is that it's believers marrying unbelievers.
Wow.
What?
So,
that creates giants.
Why wouldn't they codify that like
that? Because you're going to misunderstand it. Because the believers marrying and having babies with unbelievers didn't produce giants. That's not what it says. The giants were already there, and the giants
they burst forth from their bellies.
When it says giants, it's not specific to man. It's saying there were giants in the earth in those days. It doesn't say that there were giant men in the earth in those days.
Yeah, well, there were. There's obvious evidence of that. Unlike
There were
Oh,
giants, so
they're
everything was
fucking
giant.
dinosaurs.
Giant this, giant that.
Doesn't it
was
say
giant.
something to the effect that they burst forth from their bellies, like it was a sort of unnatural birth, like
Yeah,
they couldn't come through the womb in the natural state?
Yeah,
Doesn't it say something?
that's only in the book of Garbage Enoch.
You don't like Enoch, okay?
Yeah, sorry. If you're gonna, I'm not trying to like bash you, but if you're gonna bring
No, I'm
Enoch,
asking.
I
I
have
don't
to flag
exactly
it.
remember where it came from exactly,
No,
but
no.
Well, see,
That's from Enoch. Yeah, and that kind of shit is what leads you to believe that angels did come.
that's Enoch. Then is what you're saying.
Right, and Enoch is
yeah,
bad.
but
So
who
when the
proved
Israelites
Enoch
say
and
like
not?
we were grasshoppers unto them, what does that mean? Does
It
that
means
mean
exactly
they,
that.
like,
That
they
means
were
that
they were
those dudes.
smaller because they were godly, or what? I don't. I
No,
guess
no, no. It means exactly that. Those dudes, the Amorites, they were big. They were huge.
like fucking giants and
Yeah,
shit.
they
Wow.
were fucking giants. And if you saw one, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" and you would fucking run the other way. And
Right.
I find no fault for them, but apparently God
Yeah,
felt
they'd fucking eat your head as a snack.
right.
Well, I just
The
think
point
it's
is,
not.
if you
I
have
mean,
God,
it's not lost on me that the American Indians have the same sort of
Right.
traditions, and even here in the Ohio Valley, like there's been a lot of discoveries of enormous bones. You know,
definitely.
5
I've
foot
never seen
femurs
it.
and things like that.
I've never
So,
seen any 40-foot tall dudes. I've only seen maybe
well, I don't know about 40
15,
foot,
15. No, yeah, exactly. So I have no doubt that there were giants, but how big they were, that's the only thing I'm contesting.
but,
And
well,
how
right,
they
it's
came
debatable.
about, that's all. That's how they came about.
Well-
That's what I'm contesting.
And was the atmosphere
doubt they were
different back
giants.
then too? You know, think about it. Pre-flood,
Oh, well, yes, you go right.
Right, pre-flood. So
Yeah.
imagine you have.
pre-flood, the atmosphere might have been different, more
it
conducive
was.
to.
There was a mist that came up and watered the whole. Look, imagine if you have way less oceans, like take almost all
Well,
the
no water.
away.
It didn't rain.
Just
Right.
imagine this in your head. Just
Yeah.
take the whole Earth and you take almost all the water away. So there's no like fucking oceans. There's only just shallow seas and shit like that. And then all the land that's now exposed is covered in fucking rainforest. You see how that might work a little different?
You
I
didn't
can
need
see it would
rain.
be more conducive to life. I don't know if it's
Right.
can explain everything, but specific gravity was allegedly different. And I will say that,
What
like
gravity?
I said, if you go back to the oral
Allegedly,
traditions, which
yeah.
are much hated by Christianity, they also sort of actually confirm that. Of course, there's this sort of different philosophy at hand there, but they also will say the same thing. We were here, and you could not see the stars, right? The stars were all veiled. They were veiled in a mist, and it never rained. You just had this sort of perpetual moisture, right?
Right.
So it was the
Exactly.
perfect growing season all year long.
Right. Exactly.
So right, so you sort of get that. I do get that as far as I can tell, but
So the sun must have changed also. The sun and the moon. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Here's
right.
the thing. Ready? Check this out. I don't know. I could be totally fucking wrong, but if the moon is way closer than we think it is, and it actually is a physical object that can be hit with shit, right?
yeah.
So the flood happens and all the fountains of the deep burst open. So I imagine that to be like fucking supersonic, like the earth bursts open and shoots fucking rocks and water out like motherfucker. So maybe it could get up as high as the moon and pelt the shit out of it with the fucking rocks from the earth. But
Okay.
I can't even
Well,
verify.
what about the
Well, I
concept
think
of
the
the
heavens,
moon being an old sun?
the heavens also opened up, so they poured the waters poured forth from the heavens and
Right.
from below. So that's sort of a stretch, man.
Well, I'm just saying, dude, that totally is a stretch. I'm just saying I can't account for the craters on the moon. Other than that, it's just flood
Yeah,
day.
but look at the Milky Way. Look at that. It's like a big rift in
Yeah.
the skies.
Oh,
Definitely
right, a
only
rift, yeah.
40 days and 40 nights of rain from the sky, but the waters prevailed for 150 days, which means that the fountains of the deep were still fucking going.
Yeah.
After
But
the
hey, I'm thinking
I see what
the
you're
moon might have been an old sun. It's a possibility.
Now that's the
We'll
kind
rule
of
it
shit
out.
I have to flag you for, Ron, because that's not what the Bible says. But it's okay. You can have your own belief.
Well, no, the sun was replaced by a new sun, and the old fucking moon might have went away. So
Yeah.
who cares? Who knows? You know,
I'm just trying to say I'm
you can't
basing
flag me for
my shit off
that.
the Bible. So if you want to go a biblical standpoint, I just have to give my view.
Actually, Ron, I would be inclined to agree with you in the sense that I think that this is rendition number 2 at least. Somebody hit the
Fair
reset
enough.
button, and God himself says, "Oh, it's fucked up. The whole experiment has gone awry. I'm going to hit the reset button."
Right.
And what he also says is, well, we have these other beings that survived. They call them giants or whatever, and they're eating the people right amongst them.
We'll let them go anyway.
Well, I'm just saying that that's apparently what it sounds like. So, and this
Right.
omnipotent, omnipresent being fucked up because he couldn't actually eliminate them. So it's a whole
Right.
strange.
That's why I'm
What do
suggesting.
you do with that?
Yeah, and you know that's pretty interesting.
Hold on, Ron.
Go ahead.
Where you go? I'm just suggesting. I'll be quiet after this. That's why I'm suggesting to you that maybe you read it wrong, and that's not what actually is going on. Go ahead, Ron.
What do you mean? The moon?
Yeah, all that didn't happen. God didn't fail because none of this shit actually happened. He didn't have to worry about wiping out any kind of Nephilim, a hybrid, or anything like that. Because none of that
Did I
shit ever
mention
happened.
Nephilim or hybrid? I didn't
None of
mention
that
any
shit
of
ever
that.
happened. So he doesn't have to even
I
worry
didn't
about it.
mention any of that. I was just talking about the object in the sky.
Right, I know. I'm just. Oh.
Could have been,
We got lost in some-
perhaps. Hey, can you discount that maybe the night light disappeared and the original daylight was the moon that is currently now? I mean, you
I can't do that.
You can't
That's what we
discount
were.
that.
Yeah, I can't. There's one
You
greater
don't
one to
know.
rule the day and one to rule the night. Like it's never been anything other than that. So to say like there was another sun or there was another moon or all that shit is disqualified in my opinion. But that's just
What about Rahu?
It started 6,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm one of those guys. Sorry.
Well, it's okay. I don't deny. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I have the.
All right.
advantage
Well,
of
nor do
not
I. I'm just telling you. Like I'd bet my life on it. This is the truth.
Oh boy, that
Yeah,
might be a
no,
mistake.
that's all cool.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, hey, I'm willing to put my life on the line for it. So.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that.
Well,
I think you should delve a little bit more. I think you should call me in 10
Oh,
years. and
dude,
see
I've
what
totally
you think.
delved. If you want to talk privately, we can totally talk privately. We can talk about anything you want.
Okay. Well, I think you need to read the rest of I think you need to go into the Vedic texts, and they believe there are 8 planes, and we live amongst one of them, and you can't go to the moon. So some of the things I've already said to you that you've agreed with, they
Right.
also agree with.
Right.
I just don't think that it's so.
Too.
I think that all roads point to the great path, and
That's where I'm gonna have to disagree.
right. I know.
Only because there's a verse for it.
I'm familiar, and I'm familiar with the verse. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
Yes, that's one of
I
them.
know
There's
that.
another one.
Like I said, I've been there before. Like I've been down this road in the hands of an angry God, and
The path is narrow. The way to
right,
destruction
and the way to
is
destruction is broad.
broad. Right, so you know that.
Yeah, I know that.
So just keep that in mind when you're doing your research.
Right. Well, it's all very spooky, and
I
you
know,
wouldn't
it
look
is.
anywhere else, and you'd just be like, I can't do anything else. And it's
And you know what,
decidedly
though?
convenient, though, isn't
The
it?
world would suck balls if it wasn't for other people who differed in opinion. So then we can have these fucking conversations. Like,
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Right.
It's all good.
Yeah,
like
I'm
if
not-
we all thought the same shit, we'd just be like, yes, God is true. Yes, yes.
and that's why God makes evil, because he doesn't want
So
automatons.
there's your explanation for why God's glory.
Right.
You asked earlier.
Well, right.
because-
So he made evil. Just let's be clear on it, though.
No, yeah, definitely. I have no problem telling you that God is the one that does all of it. He will send
Okay.
one guy against the other, and like he'll do that.
Well, that's to your credit then. Albert, is that your name? I don't.
Sean, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
everybody on here calls me Albert because that's what I go by. Because that's what I started.
I'd
But
rather call you by
you really
your
must know my real name.
real name,
It's Sean.
if you don't mind. I just that's my
My
real
real
my
name is
real
Sean.
name is Ian, right? So I'm not. There's no pseudonym. And,
Well, I wouldn't call you Ian. I'd call you Ian.
well, you could do that, and I'd be like, "You're a bill collector, aren't you?"
That way, if you want me to call you Ian, I'll call you Ian.
No, it's all right. It doesn't.
I'll correct motherfuckers. I'll be like, no, his name is Ian, damn it.
Well, if you called me Ian, I would be like, "Oh, he really knows who I am." So if not, I would be like, "A bill collector's at the door. Tell him to go away.
Fuck. Ian. Oh,
Yes, is there an
you
E in
don't
here?
know me.
No, sorry, there's no E in here.
No, not here. It's actually a fantastic tell. I mean, I haven't had that problem since I was a teenager, but still, they would try and trick me, and they'd be like, Ian. I'd be like, no, he's not here. Can I take a message?
Yeah, I'll take a message for him, but I don't know who this Ian is you're talking about.
So,
Yeah, damn.
Anyway, what else you got, buddy? Come on, bring some fire. Unless you want to go to bed.
7 watching.
oh well.
Both of you. We're the only ones
Ryan.
here. Like, clearly nobody's that. We have 7 watchers. That means 4 of us and 3 other people. They're not coming.
Well, not
And there's
always.
silence.
We're not even talking anything flat Earth. We're talking about something flat
No,
Earth.
we're not. No, we could. Have
About
you guys
one.
seen that? You know what else is a powerful motivator for me is the spotlight sun on the clouds. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, man, that's a
The
good
sun's-
proof. That's a good one. That's a
That's
good one. It's like, how the fuck, man? And they're like,
Right.
oh, well, you know, like,
Or the moon. Moon spotlight on the clouds.
yeah, the moon. I tried to show that to Dan the other day. I was like, look, you see the moon right there, right? You see how it's illuminating just the clouds around the moon? You see how the clouds all the way over there aren't fucking illuminated? He's like, yeah. It's like he's not even thinking about it. Like, dude, look at it. Like, what the fuck? Why is it not lighting those up?
I haven't seen it.
It
I'll
should
have
be.
to look into that one. The moon.
Yeah, I just saw it tonight. Actually,
Light is localized.
I saw what appeared to have clouds behind it, but it was an optical illusion. You know,
And sometimes,
took
like,
pictures
There's
and all that.
so there's a moon-centric spotlight on the clouds. Is what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
no,
Okay.
I'm saying what's happening is when you look at the moon, like if there's clouds moving in front of it, the light is localized right there, right around where the moon is.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it doesn't
All the
spread
way
It's
out.
not above
Right,
the
like,
clouds.
way
though,
far
like the
away from
sun.
it. You'd be
Yeah.
like, why is the moon not lighting that up? But if you were to ask your friend over there in that area, look at the sky, and if they had clouds over their head, they would see the same thing you see. Just a localized, like, what the fuck is up with that?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
But
no.
it's not
So
the moon
something
above
indicative
clouds.
of an object that's fairly
Yeah,
close.
that's more
versus-
difficult because it could irradiate light. Now, I don't know. It's not perfectly clear there.
Right,
to
but
me,
it's
at
not
least.
like the sun. It's not like the sun, and it's not reflecting fucking sunlight.
Well, you
Well,
know,
I don't know.
there's a
It
shitload of
certainly looks like it's
people that
reflecting
believe
sunlight.
in the ball that keep telling you that the curvature of the moon is caused by
Right.
the shadow of the Earth. It's too funny.
Maybe I can find.
They
Maybe
don't even know their own model.
I think I
Well,
have.
there's nothing wrong with it until they both appear at the same time in the sky, and then you really have a real freaking conundrum there. But yeah,
Well, no, I mean, but that's not their model. You know, it's basically their model is it's an angle of observation versus angle of sun to the moon,
Right,
which would only light up a certain percentage of it. And you know, when you got a half moon, that throws their flipping theory right out the door, or their argument right out the door. Which is
oh, I thought you were saying that. Well, they've both been seen in the sky simultaneously while there's an eclipse. That's where I was going. So,
Well, no.
you know.
What I was indicating that I get people that believe in the ball. One of their excuses is, or their proofs are that the curvature, the curvature of the Earth is shown up on the moon, as you can see
Oh,
through its different
right.
stages.
It does look like some sort of spherical object is interfering, of course.
Right, and that is not the model. The model is it has nothing to do with the Earth obstructing
Oh,
the
right.
sun. Period.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So they throw that out.
Yeah,
there.
I see what you're
You know,
saying.
like,
Okay, right, I got it. Yeah, right now. I never even considered that. I'm like, yeah, right, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
got
it's the angle of observation versus
No,
the
I got
angle
it.
of the sun hitting
Right.
this object.
Right. Why would there be some sort of spherical body interfering with the moon? Okay, I got what you're
Well,
saying.
no, they indicate that's where the curvature comes from, which is false according to their model. And so that argument's used. So if you ever hear that, it's just bullshit, I guess, is
So,
all
do
I'm trying
you
to say.
think then there is some other body interfering with it? I mean,
No, I think it's just lit. I think it's self-lit, personally. I don't think there's
Oh,
no.
so it's unrelated to the like a third body or.
Well, no, their
I'm-
model doesn't have it as, their model has it as the angle of that we perceive it versus the angle of the sun hitting it. It has nothing to do with our Earth, except for their lunar eclipse
I
period,
gotcha.
when it goes through the umbrum and penumbrum, right?
Right.
That's the only time that there's any kind of Earth shadow going on with the moon, according to their model. Otherwise, there is no shadow of the Earth. But they argue that that's what causes a curve on the moon.
So I
It's
have
a
to ask.
shadow. So that's all I'm saying. If you
Y'all
hear
see
that,
my
it's
screen?
bogus. It's bullshit. Anyway,
My screen. See my screen?
uh,
Do you not see my screen? I'm presenting. It should-
Oh yeah, I see it.
Alright, so you see my screen. Now check this out. I want you to tell me what's going on with this because I'm confused. My friend from Singapore sent this picture from just before the last solar eclipse. He only got to see a partial, but I want you to tell me what the fuck is going on with this picture. Ready?
solar
Yeah,
eclipse.
What the fuck? You see
It's the
anything wrong
moon.
with that picture?
Well, the moon's not there.
No, the moon is there, but why the fuck is it lit up like that when the sun is right there?
Where is the moon?
Well, the solar eclipse is
Oh, see
supposed
it?
to be
It's
the
right here.
moon.
The moon is right
oh
here.
yeah, I get
The
it.
moon is supposed to be in front of the fucking sun.
Yeah, okay.
Crescent, but why the fuck is it? Why? Why is it a crescent moon?
Well, why is it?
What
Why
the hell's
is
going
it?
on there?
No, I get what you're saying.
Like
Well,
why?
no, it can be
You're saying
crescent.
I don't get this, right? I thought the official version is that there was interference from the Earth, right? That caused the sort of crescent moon, or
Yeah, it's
at
the
least
Earth's
in the
shadow.
eclipses.
No,
Right.
I thought the
That's the
moon
Earth's
was
fucking shadow.
blocking out the
No,
sun.
but this is a solar eclipse. This is where the moon goes in front of the sun. So the
Right.
moon is about to go in front of the sun and block it out. But this is before it. And why the fuck is the moon crescented?
Look at
Why
this.
is it pointing down when it's totally?
Regardless of the crescent,
Stupid,
look
quit
at the
asking
fucking
that
size.
question. Right.
Look at the size of it.
Well, look. Apparently, the moon is in front of the sun, right? So, like, you have to account for that. But still, why is it fucking crescented? However the fuck that word said.
No, I get it. Crescent.
Anyway,
We'll
do you
see.
see that shit? That shit is I don't know. But he sent that to me by accident. I just wanted to show that.
No, that's good.
Thoughts.
Right. Well, they both appeared in the sky at the same time, right?
Yes.
So
we're both
there's a
in the
lot
sky at the
of
same time.
anomalies there that it doesn't happen all the time. But what do you do with those? And they have all kinds of stuff they've hammered into. Well, they don't even explain them away. They just stick them on the back shelf and say, "Well, but let's not talk about that."
Right. Well, that's what. Why is it crescent?
Right.
Why is the crescent pointing away from the fucking sun?
Well, Ron was saying that he was suggesting that they don't really account for it like that. Like it doesn't have. It's unrelated to the Earth.
Only thing I can think of is that the sun is in front of, like, the sun is behind the moon. The moon is closer to you. So, but still, it shouldn't be a fucking crescent. It's like half lit up.
No, I get what you're saying.
Because
Yeah.
on that day, I'll have you know, on that day where that happened, that eclipse, there was a new moon. Meaning you can't see the fucking moon. Like, from where I tried to capture it on film, it wasn't there. Not there. There's no moon. On a new moon, there's no moon. So, I saw no moon, and then he shows me this, and I'm like, how the fuck are you seeing the moon? It's supposed to be a
How
new
does
moon.
it? Right. It's one of those things. Like, yeah, how does that work? Right. Well, I suppose you could talk to.
I mean, if the sun's lighting it up, but sure, but it's still not right. Like, why is it crescented?
I get it.
Like that.
Well, I don't know. I guess if you talk to Ron, he would say it's self-luminescent. And,
Well, I would say that too. I would say that the moon gives its own.
well, and it's not. I don't. Well, again, I kind of harken back to the ancients.
Right.
and
I
they
can't
would say
prove it. I
the
can't.
moon is like a female energy, right? And the
Uh-oh.
sun is a male energy, and they sort of, I
Perhaps.
don't want to say deified them, yeah, but they seem to, they gave them those attributes.
Actually, doesn't it say that in the Bible? It says the sun shall not give his light, and the moon shall not give her light.
Yeah, they might be
You're
quantified.
right.
Yeah.
They are male and female.
Yeah, male and female, he made them. So
They
there's
are.
this, these
So it's like,
opposites.
Yeah.
So,
But
yes.
it always refers to the sun as him, and it always refers to the moon as her. So,
Yeah, right. Makes perfect sense to me.
right?
Yeah, no, I can dig it.
Clearly.
All right, well, thanks, guys. I got to work in the morning, and it's 4:00 a.m. in here.
Yeah, it is.
So, and thanks for having me on, though, Albert. And
So good. Come on another
Sean.
day.
Sorry, Sean.
Hopefully tomorrow one of the regular people will do it, and I won't have to do this kind of shit.
Oh,
I only
I
kind of
think
feel
they're
it.
going to be mad at me if I talk to
I
them.
don't know.
Though. Maybe we'll see.
Why not? Okay, what's the worst that'll happen? Conk will yell at you. Like, nobody cares. It's fine.
No, I'm
Nobody
not.
will yell at you. Who cares?
No, no, it'll be fine. I'm glad I got my mic working, and I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying thanks. You're a good moderator. That's all I'm saying. You're a moderate.
I'm trying to be a good man. Thank you.
I'm back.
When-
Hey, Ian, Ian. Damn it.
No, it's fine.
Not Ian. Call me.
It's fine, Ron. That was good talking to you guys, and I had a good
Yeah.
time. So thanks for having me.
Good shit. Thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
Hey, we'll talk to you.
Have a good one.
Yeah. All right, Albert, Sean,
Yep.
thanks
Unless
for
you have
hosting.
anything else to say, we'll just end it right here,
Yeah, I need to go to bed too.
brother. All right, well, all you other people that might be watching, or maybe you're watching later, we're done. So, good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night too. Later.